Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Remember how amazing Much Music was back in the day when they actually played music videos before the internet, no iPhones with everything at your fingertips? It was truly a different time. And one of their hosts, Erica M., was one of my favorites. Truly, all of the hosts were unique and fun, and they helped me down that broadcast path. So to get Erica on as a guest of the podcast, certainly a highlight of my time podcasting. She's had an incredible run all around. Beyond Much, you've seen her hosting or appearing in shows like Yummy Mummy on Life Network and Discovery Health in the US, Pop Stars, The One on Global, Real Life with Erica M., Power Play on Discovery Channel Canada, The Company, Nestle Baby and You, and The Science from A to M. Erica's written songs for big artists as well. Check this out, like Van Morrison, Tim Thorney, Cassandra Vassic. She's won 3 Canadian Country Music Awards and 3 SOCAN Awards. It's impressive, right? And stop me if you've heard this before. Erica talked about interviewing the late, great Nirvana frontman, Kurt Cobain.
I had no idea at the time that would be the interview that has kind of defined my career. And what's interesting is that it didn't define my career at the time. At the time, it was just like, yeah, it was a pretty cool interview.
Yeah.
But when it was posted on YouTube about 5 years ago, outside of Much Music, where anybody could see it, and this also long after the death of Kurt Cobain, it kind of reemerged from the vaults of Much Music. And listening to him speaking today with the insights that we have, knowing that he killed himself a few months later, the conversation takes on additional depth, I guess. It was very strategic. I did very strategically approach it in a different way. When he walked, first of all, it was a junket. So if you're not in the industry, you may not know what that term means, but essentially a junket is when a record company or a movie company invites a whole bunch of media to congregate in one area. Usually it's a hotel, and you're given a hotel room, and the star goes from room to room, or the star sits there and the media goes in and out of that room and has a short period of time. So we were the Canadian contingent to interview him. I wasn't a big fan, by the way, of them. I liked them, but I wasn't a rabid fan or anything like that. And I was very worried because I had heard that he's very anti-media, because he's sort of anti-authority, right? Like he's an underground dude, and we come in, hi, how are you? Hey, Kurt, was wondering, tell me about the first cut on the album, bullshit. So my strategy was different. When he walked in, I said to him, hey, I'm Erica. Do you want to do the interview in the bed or on the back balcony? And he was like, what? And I remember his face looking kind of uncomfortable because I was asking him to jump into bed with him with a camera. And he said, well, I'll do it on the back. And I was hoping that he would do it on the back anyway. But so we did it on the balcony, so that scene now, you could, when you've seen it, you see Seattle behind us. And I wanted to talk to him like a human being. And I figure if you talk to someone like a human being, they'll drop their guard and talk to you like a human being. So if you listen to my language, it's very colloquial. I'm kind of goofy, very not lowbrow, but very understated and not professional on purpose. And my strategy worked. I disarmed him and we had a real conversation. And I listened while he was talking. He saw my face reacting to what he was saying. And so he was like, hey, this girl actually is interesting and interested. And so he got to actually talk about things that are important to him. Mm-hmm. And it was, looking back on it, it turned out really well. It was very special. I love interviewing. Wish I could do it all the time.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by the HomedWell Group. Buying a house? Selling your home? Contact Kyle at homedwell.ca today.
Can you actually change your personality if you want to? How does peer pressure work, and why is it so powerful? Should you ever really trust your gut when you make a big decision? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and each episode of Something You Should Know covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. You'll discover things you can use in your life today, right now, like how to have a great conversation, how to be more courageous, the anatomy of the perfect apology, and much, much more. To date, there are over 1,000 episodes of Something You Should Know, and we've gotten over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. Something You Should Know, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Have you ever heard about the 19th century French actress with so many lovers that they formed a lovers' union? Or what about the Aboriginal Australian bandit who faked going into labor just to escape the police, which she did escape from them. It was a great plan. How about the French queen who murdered her rival with poison gloves? I'm Ann Foster, host of the feminist women's history comedy podcast, Vulgar History. Every week I share the saga of a woman from history whose story you probably didn't already know, and you will never forget after you hear it. Sometimes we re-examine well-known people like Cleopatra or Pocahontas, sharing the truth behind their legends. Sometimes we look at the scandalous women you'll never find in a history textbook. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts. And if you're curious, the people I was talking about before, the Australian woman is named Marianne Bugg, and the French actress was named Rochelle, no last name, just Rochelle. And the queen who poisoned her rival is Catherine de Medici. I have episodes about all of them.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.